This is Chris Leeton.
Hi, Chris.
This is Glenda. Can you hear me?
We can,
I
Glenda.
can hear you.
Okay.
I'm going to be driving down the road, so I won't be doing video.
Glenda, can you give me ordinance numbers, please?
2021-04 would be Dunmire. And then 2021-05 would be Benita.
Thank you.
Well,
Mary Alice, this is Steve Owen. Can you hear me?
I can, Mr. Owen. How are you?
Good. I couldn't get it to come up on my computer, so I figured I'd just call in this way.
Okay, that works just fine. We have Mr. Leeton on the phone, Mr. Eckert on video. I don't know
Okay.
if we have other council members on just yet. We're going to go ahead and get started though, since I know we have a quorum.
Good.
Any other
Sounds
council?
good. Tyler here. Sounds like I just heard Tyler.
Okay, very good. Mr. Burton, are you online yet? How about Mr. Hendershot?
I'm heading in his office right now with my computer. We're having a little technical difficulties on his. So 1 second, please.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mayor, you can't hear my GPS going off, can you?
No, Mr. Leeton, I don't hear anything.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Ms. Roth is just video. Mr. Hendershot, are you going to be introducing these issues?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Madam Clerk, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Our first order of business will be roll call. This is a special meeting of the governing body of the city of Spring Hill. It is 1:02 p.m. on Monday, June 14th. Madam Clerk, roll, please.
Mr. Leeton?
Who is that?
Just calling to see if you're attending.
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Here.
Mr. Graves?
Here.
Mr. Eckert?
Here.
Mrs. Roth? Here. Mayor, we do have a quorum present.
All right, thank you very much. First item on the agenda is consideration of acceptance of an annexation petition, Dunmire Limited Partnership and Crawford Trust. Mr. Hendershot, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. I just, as a matter of housekeeping, these agenda review sheets have been updated for today's date. They were provided at the March meeting for March 11th. However, those were then pulled from that agenda. However, it is the same. I'll just briefly review. The first, as the mayor said, is the annexation petition from the Dunmire Family Limited Partnership and Fern Elizabeth Crawford Revocable Living Trust. The petition was submitted. It has been reviewed by staff and by the city attorney. They are valid petitions, and the city has approved that form of the petition. It is staff's recommendation to the council to approve the annexation petition and accept such.
We have a motion.
Make a motion, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If
That
not,
second was my leak, just so you know.
thank you, Mr. Leeton. If there's no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Graves, I could not hear you.
Sorry, aye.
Very good. Motion carries 500. Next item is consideration of approval of annexation agreement, also Dunmire Limited Partnership and the Crawford Trust. Mr. Henderson.
I apologize, Mayor. We need to back up. Who made the motion and who seconded that first one?
Mr. Owen and Mr. Leeton.
Thank you, sir. Okay, again, these actions are all made possible from a decision from Judge Mason this morning that rendered a decision in our favor. The next item is the annexation agreement submitted by the Dunmire Family Limited Partnership, Fern Elizabeth Crawford Revocable Trust. There are some criteria on this annexation agreement, which I'll briefly review. Upon annexation, the tract will remain the same zoning as it now has with Johnson County until the owners of the Dunmire Crawford tract transfer the property or are granted certain development-related approval or permits. The city agrees not to rezone the property without prior written permission of the owners. Second one is until such time as the Dunmire tract owners transfer the property or are granted certain development-related approvals or permits. The city agrees that those Johnson County laws, regulations, and ordinance in effect at the time the tract is annexed and that are less restrictive than the city's comparable laws shall remain in effect, beginning the first full year after the year in which the annexation has been completed and continuing for each full year thereafter in which the Dunmire Crawford tract or any part thereof is not transferred and the tract owners are not granted certain development-related approvals. The city shall remit to the tract owners promptly following the conclusion of that year the city's receipt of tax money for the county from the county treasurer concerning the tract, the amount of ad valorem tax imposed on the tract for that applicable year. This agreement does not include US 169 highway, the railroad, 183rd Street, or Woodland Road right-of-way adjoining. The city may or may not elect to include those going forward. It does not include a 1.8 acre tract on which currently there's located a building containing Heritage Animal Hospital and a large storage tank. That property is not owned by the Dunmire Crawford. Proposed annexation agreement has been reviewed by staff. It is our opinion it is fair and equitable to all parties. The city attorney has reviewed the annexation agreement. It is staff's recommendation for approval of the proposed annexation agreement between the city of Spring Hill and Dunmire Family Limited Partnership and Fern Elizabeth Crawford Revocable Living Trust dated November 4th, 1991, as amended and restated, relating to approximately 142 acre tract located at 183rd and Woodland Road. That's all I have, Mayor.
Would entertain a motion.
Ordinance number, is that an ordinance, right?
Nope, not an ordinance yet. This is approval of the annexation agreement.
Oh, okay. Move to approve the annexation agreement with the Dunmire property.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The only thing that I'm going to add just to clarify is that because this is vacant land, there's not going to be a lot of service that the city has to provide to it. Therefore, I don't believe that the few dollars that we'll end up refunding until this property changes hands or is otherwise developed is actually contrary to the best interests of the taxpayers. So I just wanted to add that to make sure that there was absolute clarity there. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries 500. Next item is consideration of ordinance 2021-04. This is also for the Dunmire Limited Partnership and Crawford Trust. Mr. Hendershot.
Thank you. This is exception, I've got the wrong one here. Of the ordinance, as Mayor indicated, it's number 2021-04 for the 142 acres previously mentioned in the petition and the annexation agreement. The tract is contiguous to the boundaries of Spring Hill, Kansas. The legal descriptions do appropriately depict the location of the property. Staff has reviewed it. City attorney has reviewed it. It is the recommendation of staff to approve ordinance 2021-04 that would then annex this Dunmire Crawford property.
So moved, Mr. Leaton.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by
Second,
Mr. Owen. This is motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, it's an ordinance. We'll vote by roll. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll of the council, please.
Mrs. Roth,
Yes.
Mr. Leeton,
Yes.
Mr. Eckert,
Yes.
Mr. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Graves.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did this need city council or governing body approval?
Just council, it's an annexation. So
Okay, thank you.
ordinance carries 500. Next item is consideration of acceptance of annexation petition for Bonita Station Investments. I think you can probably abbreviate this some, Mr. Hendershot, and then if the council has questions, we can dive into it a little bit more.
Yes, sir. It is a petition from Medina Stations filed by Matt Adams on behalf of the LLC. We've reviewed the petition, so has city attorney. It's our recommendation to approve and accept the annexation petition for the 125 acre tract.
And just to clarify, this is the property north of the Dunmire and Crawford Trust property that we just annexed in, thus making it a contiguous annexation. Would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Mayor, I make them. Okay. Second.
We have a motion by Leeton, second by Mr. Owen. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Graves, I apologize. I think that I missed you again.
Aye.
Motion carries 500. Next item is consideration of the approval of the annexation agreement, Bonita Station Investments. Mr. Hendershot.
Thank you, Mayor. Similar to the previous annexation agreement, this one does have two conditions upon that. It says, upon annexation, the LLC tract will retain the same zoning as it currently has. The second one is, after annexation, the LLC tract owner at its expense may construct and tie in a sanitary sewer line from the LLC tract to the existing city sewer line at 183rd and Webster. Acquisition of the easement for such sewer line and any applicable hookup fee and any sanitary benefit fee and any buy-in will be at the LLC tract owner's expense. Such easement and construction of constructed sewer line will be dedicated to the city. Again, it does not include the highway, the railroad, 175th or Woodland. It is staff's recommendation to accept and approve the annexation agreement for the Bonita Station 125 acre tract.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Leeton, a second by Mr. Owen. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 500. Last item on the agenda is consideration of approval of ordinance 2021-05. This would be annexation from Bonita Station's investment property previously identified.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor indicated, this is a contiguous annexation due to the recent or the previous annexation of the Dunmire tract. Ordinance number is 2021-05. It is staff's recommendation to approve this annexation ordinance for the Bonita Station property of 125 acres.
So moved as stated. To approve.
Second.
Motion by Leeton, second by Owen. Is there any discussion? If not, it's an ordinance. We'll vote by roll. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll of the council, please.
Mr. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Graves,
Yes.
Mrs. Roth,
Yes.
Mr. Leeton,
Yeah.
Mr. Eckert,
yes.
Ordinance carries 500. Everyone, I want to thank you for your availability today. This is an important step toward some development opportunities we hope that we will be bringing soon. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Leeton, second by Owen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 500. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good day.
Bye-bye.
just
We are adjourned.